folks, at the ripe old age of 93, I've had more decades under my belt than the old Ford F-100 has miles on it. Now let me tell you, I've seen some wild stuff, and I'm not just talking about the times I had to navigate through the field of barbed wire in my old trusty truck they called a wrench hand. I've been a sailor, a radio owner, and even a Harvard school, business school student. Yep, you hear that right. I'm like the old school entrepreneur who didn't have any of those fancy degrees but still figured out how to make some cash. Now I know you're thinking, what on earth was he doing at Harvard? Well, let me just say it was a gosh darn education about those fancy folks back east. Nowadays we got folks walking around with their heads stuck in those fancy little rectangles that they call smartphones. And I mean, I'm not saying I'm tech phobia. I still run that old computer and have my smartphone too. And I managed to get my grandkids to keep me posted up on a lot of stuff that's happening in their world. Well, thoughts while thinking, that's the bigger picture for us old timers, and it's my take on what's going on behind the scenes of this crazy world we live in. I like to think of myself as a bridge between the past and the present. And sometimes I've got some pretty wild ideas about what's next. And let's be real. As a retired owner of radio and TV stations, back when we actually had radios connected to the wires, and know a thing or two about how people got their news. And let me tell you, we're living in a world where news is being pushed around like a hot potato on an axle grind. Nowadays we've got news anchors spouting off like they're at a tea party. And now, folks, I can just go back with some old good-fashioned fact-checking. Just don't tell them what I said, just tell them what happened. And that's my job at Thoughts While Thinking, to keep the peace and get you straightened out on what's going on in the world that's being miscalculated by all the mass media. But in some seriousness, I've seen some crazy stuff in my 93 years, and I'm proud to have been a part of the wild ride. And hey, I've made it all the way through. And I'm spouting off as an old timer, and with whatever wisdom I've got to you. Know that you got a whole lot of living left in us, and well, that's me in a nutshell, or as they say in a nice big old tin of Thoughts While Thinking. And that's just me being fancy. My story is a wild ride through the ages, and I'm glad that you're here. Buckle up, we've got some crazy stuff to do. And that's my 2 bits, and if you liked what I had to say, be sure and give me a thumbs up. And subscribe for more. Pass it along if it speaks to you. And until next time, this is Thoughts While Thinking, and it's adios, amigo.